Whenever you're ready.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Tan.
Hi, Tan. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Are you okay if we ask you some questions about cinematography?
Yeah, go ahead.
Beautiful. So my first question is, how would you light a horror scene?
So, from what I've been viewing, it's mostly using a key light in front of the person and then usually the backlight in behind the person. I don't necessarily need to use a field light unless it comes to a scene of a female in danger or the fact that it just really depends on the character as well as the mood. From what I remembered, I've mostly gaffed projects. I usually do gaffing on the side as an experience on top of like my cinematography. From what I'm seeing, it's just mostly playing around with the fact that the fill light can be positioned in and out of a scene and not necessarily has to be there. As long as the key light is there as well as the backlight, it sets the mood of like heavy contrast as well as like the fact that like it sets the mood of a horror.
Okay, very interesting.
How would you communicate with a director with your vision?
So usually I listen to the director of what exactly and the type of emotion that is needed for the film. And sometimes to improve on that, I usually associate with the emotions with colors as well as the type of scene that is necessarily needed. So let's say if a director wants me to do let's see, what's a good mood?
Romantic?
Romantic. Usually you have to add in the factor of two people in love. It has to be kind of a warm feeling, therefore it has to be kind of a orangey type of warm type of feeling.
So amber gel? Or?
Amber gel, something along the lines to boost the aspect of like there's love in the air, and then sometimes usually warmth is associated with when two people are in love. And when it comes to lighting, I tend to not trying to give it like a glowing effect. I want it to be more of a godlike scene of between two people falling in love than rather of a like, oh, let's just put two together and just light them up. I'm like, no, I want it to be a god scene. I want it to be a scene where it shows romance, warmth, and two people in love.
I've seen that from your work. It's very, very impressive.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So do you work with color temperature on the camera, or what do you do in terms of...
So, as of right now, my experience has been definitely working with gels, but I want to work more with the color temperature with camera, because I figured out that when I work with color temperature with camera, I can actually manipulate it in post to a more authentic coloring than what I want.
Okay, very interesting.
Oh yeah. How would you navigate a run and gun shot?
So usually I personally don't want to be the camera operator. I found out that I'm pretty weak around the arms, so I have to actually ask someone else to be my cam operator, and I will be trailing behind them. Run and gun, sometimes it's just a two-man's team. I have done that before. It's a really interesting shot that we did, but it worked really well. We had to run through the woods and follow the main character running away from a serial killer, which I was like, oh, okay, I did not really entail being, okay. That's the one where it was left in the vault. But yes, it's just more like two-man teaming, communicating with someone else. Usually the other person is mostly proficient in the field. So our experience would be going back and forth in a sense of like working together and figuring it out.
Okay. And what kind of experiences have you had? What is your experience in cinematography?
So far, I've been doing it for the last 2 years. I'm still new to the concept. The genres that I tend to do is mostly music video / narrative lighting. Horror, I haven't really touched upon, but I would love to in the later future. Can you repeat that question one more time?
Yes, of course. What experience have you had?
So, as of right now, I'm at Saddleback Community College. I also branched out and worked at I volunteered for different other film sets, mostly traveling up to Chapman University, volunteering to work for free for them. At the same time, during my summer last semester, I would volunteer going up to LA and doing different random shoots for like different positions, not usually the key positions, aka the not like the DP or the gaffer, just mostly like the second in command of like the Best Boy Electric, but as well as the BBG. I really just want to like establish the basic knowledge first, and then take whatever I learned on set onto future sets I work on.
So you've worked on quite a few sets.
Yes, that's indeed.
Beautiful.
How do you communicate and troubleshoot a crisis on set?
So
It's like the generator's out.
the generator's out. So first off, I would turn off everything that has to do with electrical. I would tell the first AD that safety is my number one priority, as well as excusing the actors and people in front of the cameras out of the scene. The directors, I would prefer not to know about the situation, but would tell them that it's just a little misunderstanding that can be solved within an estimated amount of time. And hopefully, I usually lead a team that I don't usually panic. It's more of the fact of like, okay, safety first, and then we go down the line of what's need to be prioritized. But definitely my number one concern is the safety of the actors as well as everyone on set.
Okay, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you so much. Have a
And
good